Hi, this is Brian. We're into the 5th of July 2016, and we're returning to our reflections on whether there is actually a globe and what does the Earth look like. There's been an awful lot of stuff published on the net, in social networks, on closed group sites, on Facebook, or people tend not want to have these kinds of discussions on an open page because, you know, the gremlins and the trolls and who else is out there, tend to make a nuisance of themselves. So, discussion about the nature of the shape of the Earth has been somewhat restricted, although braver people than myself have been exposing themselves to unnecessary ridicule. I have to say that I have felt a certain amount of ridicule myself from even close friends when I raise the subject about the shape of the Earth and what this all means. And of course, having had a good dose of the Book of Enoch and a fresh look at Genesis, at Job, at Amos, at other references in the Bible. And it's amazing actually how much is said about it. So how it escaped me for so long is sort of like difficult for me to explain. I haven't got a good excuse for leaving this for so long, apart from the fact that there's this huge monolith of propaganda coming at you from the day you enter the education system. Although I do remember discussions about looking at maps of the world and people saying that the map, a map was better than a globe to get an understanding of where things were. I never thought for a moment that actually I would end up in the position that I've come to, that there's more than good grounds to argue that the Earth is not a globe. Yeah, and of course when you say you think of a flat Earth, that's a little misleading. However, the idea of sitting on a globe that spins at over 1,000 miles an hour, whatever, spinning incredibly quickly in order to achieve the outcomes of day and night, is actually really counterintuitive. And there are endless articles on what happens when you test is the Earth really moving by firing a projectile of some sort into the air and measuring how much, if any, the Earth moves from where you fired the projectile, particularly if it's straight up into the air, vertically. Projectiles tend to come down more or less where they've been fired from. So, I mean, there's just so much in terms of canals where people have done measurements over distances 5-6 miles, where we've gone and we've looked at sea level, at places where you shouldn't be able to see because of the so-called drop-off on the globe model of the Earth. The biggest obstacle you run into are people who just have straight gut reactions, like this can't be right, this can't be true. What on earth is he talking about? And look, if you keep talking like this, you're probably going to end up in a psychiatric ward in some place, because people will say, well, you've lost your mind. And it's fascinating how it all works. And then, you know, after a while, you don't want to talk about it because everyone gets so angry and hostile. Not me, though, because I've actually found other people who are interested in this and their minds are open. Yeah, so I've been able to progress the whole flat earth model, if you like, through scriptural references, through the Book of Enoch, through the criticisms of the reformers Luther and Calvin, and I've come to the conclusion that we've been badly misled by some of the so-called great thinkers. Copernicus, Newton, these people have introduced some very strange thinking. And of course, they're not regarded as strange by the majority. In fact, they still think the overwhelming majority somehow has got itself stuck in a rut in terms of the earth being a globe. Just amazing.